Thank you very much. It's a great honor and my pleasure to be here and share my stories with you. When Jenny first asked me to perform and give a speech, I really hesitated because it's about 20 years ago since I last stand in the podium and gave a speech in English. And 20 years is a long time, and probably most of you were not even born yet. Okay? So, 20 years ago, I was just as you are right now, sitting down there as a high school student, maybe graduating soon. Okay? And my story probably most likely will echo what you are experiencing right now. So I think it will be very, very useful, and that's why I took on this challenge when Jenny asked me to do a story about truth or dare. Okay, and my story is about truth or dare. Okay, I attended a very well-known high school in Victoria, British Columbia, in Canada. Okay, it's probably one of the most prestigious private school, and I did very well in the school. I loved it. When I come visit in ICA, it felt like I was back at my old school because we had a boarding school. I was a boarding student. I was a prefect, and I enjoyed all the classes I took in arts, math, science, physics, sports. I really enjoyed rugby. And we also had annual outdoor trips, which the school gave us pretty much, threw us in the woods for 7 days. So we had to survive, okay? And all these experience cultivated me right now, okay? And when I look back all these years, the 3 years in high school, away from parents, were probably the most exciting years of my life. And I did very well in school. I graduated second in my class. I pretty much, when the graduation ceremony was going on, I pretty much stand on the stage all the time because pretty much all the awards I got, I got pretty much all the awards. I did well in math. I was a math Olympian, and I did well in physics and all kinds of classes. But all these were just preparation for me to go to university. And when I faced the question or the dilemma of making a decision which university I wanted to go, it was probably the biggest decision in my life. Okay, when I look back, it's still the biggest decision in my life. Okay, the reason being, I kind of knew what I wanted, but I wasn't sure. Maybe just like most of you right now, okay? I knew I was good in math. I love arts. I really like design, drawing. So I applied for Yale University School of Architecture, and I got accepted, okay? I also knew that I want to be financially independent, okay? I want to make a lot of money so I can be myself. So I knew I could explore a career in business. So I even applied for UPenn, School of Wharton School of Business, and I got accepted. And somehow the voice of my parents, okay, telling me that, you should be a doctor, okay. It's really good to be a doctor, it's prestigious, you make a lot of money, and you have the respect of everybody, and when they get old, you can treat them. So they asked me to apply for Johns Hopkins. And for all the three schools, I settled for Johns Hopkins, okay? Just because I was being a good son, good child, listening to my parents. And that turned out to be probably the worst decision in my life, okay? So, why am I telling you this? Because it's the truth or dare moment in my life. The truth was, I did not want to go to a school that I know I'm not going to enjoy, okay? But I was not courageous enough. I was not daring enough to pick a university or pick a path that I knew I will excel in, okay? That was a mistake that haunted me for another 10 years. And the reason being that when I went to Johns Hopkins, as good as the school is, as competitive as it was, everybody was really smart. Even though I graduated first in my class, second in my class, when I got to Hopkins, everybody was smarter than me. Okay, everybody had all the AP classes. Most of them didn't even have to do this freshman year. Okay, and English wasn't my native language, so I had to struggle a little bit. Before we went to a test, my roommates, flipped through a few pages of the notes, and he got 100 on the test. I was barely on the first stage when I got into the quiz. So it was really different. I did okay. I did probably more than okay? But most important thing is that of all the subjects I took, I was, I knew I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested in them, okay? And it was very difficult. And it was apparent to me, too. And I had to struggle through the classes. Even though I got A's, it wasn't hard, okay? Even though I do well, but it wasn't my passion, okay? But I tried, okay? At my freshman year, it went by very fast, okay? And the sophomore year, like all my peers, we tried to find the best research labs to do medical research. So we can pad up our resumes, and have some good credits, maybe publish a few papers, okay? So we can get into a good medical school, okay? And I did the same. I got into a really nice lab, doing really good advanced research, working with the brightest mind at the Johns Hopkins Hospital. Some of the doctors are the world-renowned doctors in research. At that time, I thought I did okay. And still, it was hard for me because I knew medicine wasn't something that I would do for the rest of my life, okay? Maybe it's interesting for some of them, but for some people, but it wasn't for me, okay? But, I tried to do the best I could, and in fact, I did pretty well in research that my professor did not want to let me go. He even offered a free entrance of master's degree and PhD degree to entice me so I could stay in school and do more research for him, okay? That's why I ended up, took me 7 years to get an undergrad and master's degree because that's how long I spent there, okay? And I'm going to tell you a story how I ended up, okay? Because even though I did well, the professor didn't want to let me go. I, at the end, was fed up with it, okay? In fact, I smelled like a rat because of all the times I spent in the lab, doing all the surgeries on the mice, rats. My girlfriend dumped me because I smelled like a rat, okay? It's a true story, okay? And at the end, I fed up with it and said, I'm not going to pursue a PhD anymore. My parents were not very understanding. Okay, they said, you have to finish it, before you come back to Taiwan. Okay, and I was very defiant. I left the school, and in fact, I took the whole summer off, and nobody could find me at all. Okay, and running away from school and home was a dare that I did, and it was not for the faint of heart. I tried my best, and I had just $300 to spend. I had no money, okay? But, I proved to myself that during that summertime, I could survive on myself. I actually, bartended in the nightclubs and do whatever I could to make cash, okay? Because I could not work for, an official job or anything or get an interview. And after that, my parents realized how severe it was, so they finally let go of the idea that I had to get a PhD. So, with the master's degree, I was able to graduate and come back. That was the daring decision I took. It was hard, but I was glad because I proved to myself that I could survive on myself. I could make money on myself. I could make something of myself, not just receiving support from my parents, okay? And since then, I had a lot of confidence I wasn't just good at studying. I could survive in the society. I proved to myself I could do it. But of all the story at the end, even though I had a miserable 7 years at Hopkins, no offense to all the Hopkins graduates, I know some of you are, one of the schoolmates is. But the thing is, I know that all these struggles nourished me, gave me the strength to face dilemmas or difficulty in the future of my life. Okay. And as it turned out to be, it would become a round circle. I could not see the dots. Okay. All these dots that I faced, the challenges I overcame, the classes I took, even though the biology, biochemistry classes, molecular biology classes, all of the classes I took, they turned out to be useful for me right now. Okay. Somehow the dots just connect, even though you don't know at the time. But I'm sure you guys will find a lot of challenges in the future. You'll sure face a lot of difficulties in university or in the society as you step into, as you grow older. But remember this, all these challenges are nourishing you, giving you the strength to face difficulties in the future. They will give you the nourishment, okay? And in the future, it turn out to be useful, okay? And in fact, I never told anybody this story, what I just told you. And they have been a very close, kept secret in my heart. And I wanted to share with you because I think it would be very important. My dilemma was I had to face my parents. I'm sure a lot of Asian parents are very demanding, just like my parents were. You have to struggle between your parents' decision and your decision. I'm sure you'll face that a lot, okay? So finding a compromise between is a good strategy. But most important is follow your heart, okay? Somehow you know what you are interested in. Somehow you will know. Maybe it's your gut feeling. Maybe it's your karma or superstition somehow, okay? Somehow I know inside of you, you know what you want to pursue, okay? And even if you don't know right now, it's okay. Try. Explore different things. Explore different venues of things. Okay, you will find something that you're interested in. Because I'm very, very lucky because in the future, work is going to take up a lot of your time. Okay, in fact, most of your adult life, you'll be working. Okay, no one can avoid it. But finding the work you love, finding the work you enjoy is so important because that's the only way you can do great work, okay? There's no compromise. If you don't find something that you enjoy, you will never excel in it. You'll never be the best in it, okay? I'm very lucky because after my experience there, I found something I love, okay? I love investing. I love to make money. Oh, that's true. But I love investing. So right now, my job is that I wake up every day very, very happy because I get to see what are the new technologies that are emerging, what are the new medicines, or maybe I can help, investing in the futures of these companies. And I'm making a difference in the life. Somehow, maybe a small part, but maybe the company I invest in will be a big part of the future of humanity. One of the examples is that one company I invest in is researching a drug that was potentially cure Alzheimer's disease, which is incurable right now. Okay, so for me, my training in medicine, something that I thought I hated it, I thought I'd never use it, but it turned out to be very useful for me right now because biology, medicine, medical research, the COVID you heard recently, mRNA vaccines, all these things are new technologies that start emerging. Okay, they are very, very exciting. Cancer can be cured in the next decade. Okay? So genetic disease can be cured also. Okay? So for me, it all comes back in the round circle. Things I hated the most turn out to be some that I find useful right now. Turn out to be something I use every day right now. I love what I do right now because I invest in future. I'm wearing this t-shirt, right? Just because I wanted to show you. There are technologies that are changing right in front of us right now. When I was growing up at your age, Steve Jobs introduced the first iPhone to the world. And everybody, most of you have seen iPhone or even have an iPhone. You know how revolutionized this technology is. Okay? It changed the whole way of communication. There's no PC anymore. Okay? You can use the phone for everything. At that time, it was unheard of. It was impossible to know. Right now, I see technologies that are changing our life will impact our future greatly. In fact, one of the companies, Tesla. Okay? The reason why I'm wearing this t-shirt. Okay? Our dependency on fossil fuel will be gone. We need sustainable resources. We need sustainable energy. The Ukraine crisis is also about energy also. Okay? All the companies, countries that depends on fossil fuels, depends on other countries. That's national security issues right now. So being able to have sustainable energy independent will be important. So in the future, in the 10 years, 20 years, you'll see electric cars, you'll see energy storage, no more fossil fuels. All these changes are making great impact in our lives. So if you can see these opportunities, find these opportunities, they are not far away from you, okay? Then you'll be excited about your future. So, to conclude, truth or dare, I really recommend follow your heart because that's where the truth is, okay? And have the courage to dare, okay? Because life is short. Life is shorter if you come to my age, okay? So, don't live under other people's assumptions or dogma, okay? Be yourself and be responsible for yourself. Okay, so I leave you with 3 words. Okay, be hungry for knowledge. Be humble because there are people better than you, and be humble give you the strength to ask, to question. Okay, and be happy. Okay, thank you very much.